This is our new pride and joy. It's a copy of Green Lantern #1. Probably comes in at a very strong Fine Plus to VF condition, white pages. Outstanding comic. Love it.
What's so special about that?
It's a very significant issue. As a matter of fact, Martin Odell is here and was just at our stores, and I'm going to take it down there and have him sign it.
And I understand. I think this is an unrestored copy, and I think this is the first one to surface in a number of years. It's beautiful.
And there's probably 200 or less copies in existence right now. I think that's what current guide status is.
Why do people want stuff in good condition? What's the big deal about that?
That's an investor's market. In the higher grades, the comic books first of all, they're so rare in high grades that we just don't see them that often. They're usually, because of the paper stock, they start getting brittle and just the way they were stored and the paper drives at that time going on, that as an investment, the difference between the good price and the mint price, well, as you well know, is dramatic, and it's the money that can be made off of it. That's what it is. It's people hunting down the money or the mass of, the people that are into nostalgia are picking up lesser grade copies.
If, say, 200 total issues of that exist, how many of those would you say would be high grade copies?
Oh, you probably count them on your hand, and probably less than that.
I'd said that at a guesstimate, I think this is probably in the top 5 percentile. So
15 or less, 10?
probably, and then you have to consider restoration. If you're talking unrestored, I'd say very few. Yeah, you're probably less than 10.
What's the big bugaboo about restoration? Why would people prefer an unrestored copy as opposed to restored?
It's because it's closer to the original. Well, it is in its original condition. You start restoring, you're changing the book. Even though it may be an improvement, it is a change in the book. I think that's one of the reasons.
Well, I approve of it as a fan item. I have a couple copies in my collection that are restored, and that's because I really enjoyed the comic book. It might have had a large flap hanging up. It was hard to read and hard to do with, and it makes it look a lot more attractive. So, but again, it's like a car. If you're changing the car around, it's not the same. It's not.
What kind of clients do you have? How would you describe some of your clients? What kind of people are they?
I think we've got a lot of hardcore Golden Age, Silver Age investors, collectors. A lot of our clientele, they enjoy their books. They invest in big books. But when they get them, I think they take them home and read them. I really think they enjoy them.
I mean, are they regular blue-collar workers? Are they professionals?
We have a lot of everything.
Yeah. You go from little kids that come in that are just in it's a whole new world, and they look around the store, they're amazed, all the different colors and the different, and then you have your briefcase, the kids with the briefcases that come in, and it's pretty intense. And there's doctors and lawyers and.
What is the age range for this?
Strongest? I still say probably the 18 to 35 is the strongest. A lot of moms, because we're located in mall situations. So there's a lot of moms with the younger children. But
what's the most expensive comic book you've ever sold or been a part of?
An Action Comics #1. It was upwards of $30,000.
Would you say most of the sales are less than $100 or more than $100?
Well, in the stores, probably less than $100 because that's an everyday, non-stop thing. But we do turn an awful lot of expensive comic books around.
I'm a member of the IRS.
I never said a thing.
Okay, well, I guess that's about covers it all. How did you two meet?
Well, I was a customer of one of Philadelphia's biggest stores, and I was a magazine editor at the time. And I moved into the area and I needed a good comic store. And I went in and there was this kid who was managing the store. He knew a lot about comics. I never really looked at him as a kid. And we sort of became friends. And one thing led to another, and here we are.
Sort of.
Well, how old are you?
I'm 28.
I'm 36.
So you're clearly a baby boomer.
Yeah.
What magazine were you editing?
Trade magazines for the tourist industry and the souvenir industry.
What do you think, if you were going to predict the future of collectible comics, how do you view the future?
I still think Golden Age and Silver Age are sound investments. I believe they have a better investment value than a lot of your hot books of today. In fact, a lot of the hot books today are going to be garbage tomorrow. I don't see that with Golden Age, and I don't see it with Silver Age. And I.
Portfolio review area is now set up in the artist alley. Representatives from Dark Horse are available to review portfolios of aspiring. If you are missing or
Can we squeeze another partner in here real quick?
Sure.
Hey, Charlie.
remember everyone, there is no smoking on the exhibit floor.
Stick him right in the middle.
He's the financial wizard behind the company.
Stand right in the middle and we'll ask each of you one final
Philadelphia Eagles.
We'll be at
We
it.
can discuss it in any ancient language except Greek or Latin, but we'll go past that.
Okay.
ComicFest
One at a
93.
time. Let's start with this guy. We'll go straight through. Okay?
We expect his lecture to be absolutely
What is your
outstanding.
favorite
2 hours
comic
of
book
readings,
of all time?
opinions, and anybody.
Favorite comic book of all time.
It's only $6 and the proceeds.
This is an odd one, but I'd have to say Batman 180.
And how so?
It was the first Batman that I actually bought, and it was a story that I thought was revolutionary for the times. As a child, I was used to the Batman, a lot of the silly adventures that were going on in television, because this was in '66. And Batman 180 actually took on the death penalty. It took on the murder of police officers, and in it, Batman got shot. And these were concepts that I just wasn't used to, and it just stays with me.
What's the most interesting or important comic book in your life?
Well, it had to be back early when I started collecting. It would have been Spider-Man 121, which was the death of Gwen Stacy. I had a crush on Gwen Stacy when I was 10 years old, so it was a big event in my life to see her go down. And Spider-Man was my favorite character anyway, and that was one of the first times that something sort of more than just a fun reading experience happened in comic books. So I think that would be my most memorable anyway.
Okay, good choice. How about for you?
The Spectre, the Golden Age Spectre, my favorite character, and it would be More Fun 55. That was my first big Golden Age investment in a line of many.
What's special about it?
What's special about the comic book?
55.
I believe that was the first one where he was pictured on the cover, I'm pretty sure. And I have 3, so. No, I should know that. 54.
52 did agree, but 54 was the first costume.
First in costume, right.
55
Hey.
was also the first.
That's why you're here. We rely on you.
But tell me, what about 55 intrigued you so much? What about the character, the Spectre, intrigued you?
I really couldn't tell you. Just love the stories. Great stories. Good artwork.
Possibly that he's the only hero that had to die to become a superhero. Is it
Well,
possible that
Gary's
Bernard
he's answering your
Bailey
question.
also-
for you.
that's it. I
That's
swear to
what
God.
it is.
Trying to help. Are you a Bernard Bailey fan?